1,000? 1,000. 1,000. 1,000? 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. Holy crap, 1,000 people actually enjoyed my rantings and ravings and just miscellaneous talkings that you actually subscribed to me? Moi? Well, not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked and humbled. True, it's in the greater scheme of things, 1,000 subscribers to a YouTuber is not a big deal, but to me it means a lot because, again, I'm just some old guy playing video games with my cats. I never intended to make anything big. I'm just doing this for funsies. It's definitely never going to be a career. I'm not going to be able to retire off of this. I just wanted to share my enjoyment of getting back into the whole retro gaming thing. You know, it was always something I wanted to do, but I just didn't know if it was for me, if I could do it, if it was expensive. And one day I just said, you know what, forget it. I'm getting in, man. And you guys have watched me as I've done it, which is kind of cool, right? And oh my, how this channel has progressed. And yeah, it might not seem like a whole lot, but I do think I have progressed just a little bit. Got a better camera, got a better light setup, got a better microphone. And if you look at some of my old videos of my screen captures, well, I actually just had a camera pointed at my TV and was recording that way. It's not until recently that I actually got a capture card. So the fact that anyone was able to even sit through my abysmal recordings is a shocker to me. But what can I say? I've gotten a little more professional. And again, this is just something I've been doing to have a little bit of fun with. It started with me just picking up an old ColecoVision with that Atari 2600 adapter at a thrift store. I definitely paid way too much for it in retrospect, but that's okay, because that investment got me down this road that has caused me to spend a whole lot more money on a whole bunch more crap that I don't need. Ugh. Whatever, I'm having fun, and that is the point. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting back into all this old stuff that I loved as a kid. I'm seeing how much of it is still fun, how much of it is like, how was I ever into that, and this is garbage, to, oh my god, how did they make this happen, and what are these people doing nowadays with this old stuff? It's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's great. A big boon, of course, has been Atari doing a whole bunch of stuff, that 2600 console, that 2600 plus, 7800 plus. Them putting that out has definitely helped me get back into it a lot. That's probably what I've been looking at most, is stuff that would be compatible with that system. When truthfully, the Commodore 64 was my big system back in the day. But of course I had an Atari, had a Nintendo, had a Sega Genesis with the Sega channel, baby! PS2, 360, Xbox One I've got now, and I recently got a Switch. Hey, I guess I have always kind of been into video games, but it's not until the last few years that I really wanted to look in depth to it and get back to my roots, man. And it was that ColecoVision that got me there. And so yeah, I think one of the first videos I posted was me cleaning it up and getting it to work properly, because it was super fuzzy and it was dirty on the inside. And again, I just kind of wanted to show what it's like to get into it, and also to show people that if I can get into this, fix some stuff up, then anybody can, because I'm just some schlub, man. I'm not a techie. I don't have deep pockets. I mean, I work for the public school system. Kind of broke, man. But the fact that you guys are kind of watching me as I do this and enjoying it, I'm having great conversations with you guys in the comments. I'm learning a lot. I mean, some of you guys have sent me some very, very invaluable information. It's been huge. I've learned a ton. And for that, I am extremely grateful. So thanks, y'all. Again, 1,000 subscribers, that's huge, huge, huge. For me, for little old me. So, but now that I've hit that big landmark, where do I go from here? Well, I don't know. So thinking about in the future, what I want to do, some things I want to do. Now, my channel, I started off doing like some repairs and whatnot. And recently I did actually clean up some paddles, get some jewelry paddles working. So I think I want to do a couple more things like that. Just kind of show that even with this old tech, it's simple enough where anybody can kind of go in, fix it up, clean it up, and get it working again. So despite the fact that these paddles came out in, 79 or whatever, you can still get them working, and they'll be working just fine. And it doesn't take a whole lot. And I want to share that with people. Don't listen, Atari, okay? Shh, shh, shh. You don't have to go spend a ton of money to get brand new paddles, okay? You can get some janky ones, clean them up, and they'll be just fine. and then move that on to some other things like, hey, can you do that with an NES controller as well? I actually have, so heck, why not share that as well? I actually picked up some upgrade components for an NES controller from the same guy that I got this from. Again, doesn't seem like much, but doesn't it look cool? So I want to share that and show how you can just easily upgrade some of your stuff. I am going to keep doing the reviews that I think people really like. I think people are enjoying the reviews. I'm doing a lot with the 7800, so I'm going to continue to do that like I just did Countermeasure here. But I also picked up some stuff from other spots that are not just from Atari.com, okay? From Atari Age, which yes is owned by Atari, but whatever. Robotito, I want to get into this bad boy right here. This looks pretty cool. As well as Casey's Gold from Audacity Games. This is one that, again, by Dan Kitchen. Does that name sound familiar? This came out a few years ago, sure, but I've actually played this. Spoiler alert, I've been having fun with it, so I want to do some reviews on some stuff that's not just there. If anyone has any suggestions on some out-of-the-box things that I should get, not just straight from the Atari.com, let me know. I'm into it, man. As well as maybe do some more top 10 crap. Top 10 lists are always just fun to do. They're a bit of work, but hey, they're fun to do. So if anyone has any suggestions on top 10s I should do, let me know. And I know I still got to make that co-op list for you, Chris. All right, I'm on it. I swear I'll get it done. I've just been a little distracted. Just that one's a little harder for me because, again, Monica, my better half, does not play games, and neither does the kiddo. She's 25. What is she going to do with an Atari game, right? I do have a quick question, though, for visual style. Do we like it like this, with this it's kind of bright and everything? Or should we get these lights down low, make it a little more sensual for the ladies? Let me know. Unfortunately, won't be doing any television reviews because the Sprint I got is broken, and now they're sold out. But anyways, again, I just want to thank everyone for subscribing, and this is pretty cool, and I don't know, I'm humbled, shocked, and I don't know, I've never thought 1,000 people would ever even care to tune into my channel, so I appreciate everyone, thanks for the support, and hey, I'm going to try to keep it going. Now, again, this should be a big thing, and maybe I should be celebrating, maybe it's nothing big at all, but I do have to be a little bit serious here for a minute, if you will. Now, again, I try to keep things fun and be positive, and the internet is a horrible, ugly place, just filled with some of the worst that humanity has to offer. A lot of times I absolutely hate the internet. So I always want to stay positive, and I'm often accused of being too nice about things. But again, because the world is an ugly place, and I want this to at least be something where it can be a place where you can tune in just to forget about the other crap that's happening for at least a minute. But I just got to go over some things here because I live in Minnesota. I live here in Minnesota. And I just have to shed a little bit of light, even if it's, again, to some people here, like 1,000 people. It's not that many people in the grand scheme of things. A lot of you might not even care. And most people have already kind of used whatever information they got to make up their own agenda about the situation here. But again, I have to share it for the people who watch U.S., other countries. I know I've had conversations with people in Canada, not that far, France, Germany, other places in the world, okay? And I think I need to share a little bit about our situation here just from someone who's living here, all right, and is seeing it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not a member of any political party. I don't really get too political in conversations outside of people who I'm close with. It's because it never turns out right. People have their favorite teams. You know, you're a Vikings fan, you're a Packers fan, and your team can do no wrong a lot of times, da-da-da-da-da. And it's, it's not something I ever like to get myself involved with, especially on the internet, which, again, can be the ugliest place in the galaxy, right? I've always said, if you're a fan of a politician, you're a fool, all right? Since the first election where I really paid attention, which was Bush and Gore, okay? And I just hearing the way people talk about things. Again, if you're a fan of a politician, you're a fool. I'm sorry. I'm going to stick by that one. And I just see so many things online where people will take what's happening here and they use it to push their own agendas or use it to get ratings and views and crap. And again, anyone who tries to profit off of people's suffering is just ugly and horrendous. People who try to get fame and infamy off of people's suffering are just some of the scummiest and worst people in the world. And I don't ever. This is why this is at the end, and I'm not really pushing it big time. I'm just hoping some of you guys might actually listen to this, who care to listen to it. You can turn it off right now and not even worry about it right now. But if you care at all about what we're going through, you might want to listen just a little bit. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, well, we have been flooded with ICE agents, immigration enforcement here in Minnesota. Minnesota is, again, considered a sanctuary city. We have had tons of immigrants come in from around the world. So, we had a big influx of Hmong people, based off of what the U.S. did in the Vietnam War. Same with we have a huge Somali population based off of the U.S.'s, of course, interactions in there. We have a lot of Afghani people from us being over there in another war. Minnesota has always taken in people that are displaced, put in refugee camps because of wars. All right, so that's one thing I've always liked about my state. Again, we like to take care of people. Yeah, you take care of people. Sometimes people are going to take advantage of it and whatnot, and that was what a big thing was, where they tried to use that, that is there's the fraud thing. They acted like it was brand new because some YouTuber blew open the story. No, it's not a new story. It's been documented. It's been going on. I think a lot of times people confuse the rapidness of things happening on the internet with how things work in reality, as far as court systems go and whatnot. So yeah, it's not something that was new, that was blown open or whatever, but it was definitely a great excuse to get so many more ICE agents into our state. All right, I work in Minneapolis. I live right outside it. I've lived in Minneapolis most of my life. I'm here. And I'm right in the middle of it, so I see things. And the things I see are absolutely horrendous, all right? They are scary. They are volatile. They are brutal, okay? They're brutal. We have had a ton of ICE agents that are not trained brought in. You give a bunch of untrained people guns and power and authority, and things are not going to go well. You give them absolute immunity to do their jobs, things are not going to go well for the people living here. All right? And it's very obvious to see that they're untrained people with guns here. A woman was murdered. And again, this is another thing where people are going to take that video and look at it however they want to make their side look how they want. But if you just look at it objective, because I have worked safety security for almost 20 years. I've been a coach for 20 years. I break down tape and I have to be objective, right? If I just look at tape and think, oh, my team always did something right, you're never going to learn, you're never going to improve. In security, we break down tape to watch and see how things played out, so we know every angle and we know how it happened, why it happened, and how to prevent it from happening again, okay? It's very important that we do that, and we have to be extremely objective. And, a lot of times we will see people put themselves in a situation so that they can react. It's a common tactic. It's nothing new. And that's what happened in that situation that led to a woman's murder. All right? Children have been attacked. Children have been attacked by ICE agents, okay? A high school in my district. Kids I knew, okay? A building I go to 6 times a year for whatever reasons. Sports competitions or professional development or whatever. I'm at that school all the time. I know those kids, work with those kids, love those kids. I was actually telling my dad about that, and he thought it was crazy because back in his day, if you saw someone from another high school, you'd get into a fight. But nowadays, all these kids know each other. All these kids are friends. And so the fact that it happened to this one school affects everyone around in the neighborhood because they all know each other. They're all friends. They're all family. They're different schools in the same city, but they're still, they know each other. And again, the fact that these ICE agents with their guns came in to a school as it was releasing, went onto the school property, invaded these children's home, what they call home, for 4 years. Okay? They invaded these children's homes. And again, not their actual homes, but the school, which, again, and they attacked them, threatened them, pushed them physically, and maced them, sprayed them with mace, children, all right? Arrested staff members who were trying to stop this because earlier that day, that agency murdered a woman. And so the kids are scared, the staff is scared, and these men with guns come in and brutalize children and people working with children. And that, again, if you can justify that in any way, if you can justify how attacking children is okay and how it happened, I can't have that conversation with you, all right? That's not a conversation I'm willing to have because I cannot see a justification for doing that to children. And it's everywhere, right? Everywhere. My wife and kiddo have to have their passports with them wherever they go now to be able to prove that they're American citizens. All right? For the crime of being brown. My wife is from Ecuador, American citizen now. The kiddo is Ecuadorian, right? They have brown skin, and therefore they are a target. And we were told, no, they're just going to go after violent criminals. But that is not true. People are being arrested and detained all over the place just based off their skin. All right? We don't just have people coming in here to take care of the violent criminals. That's not what's happening. All right? Whether they have a quota or not, whatever that is, people are being detained, people are being stopped and questioned, and again, it is a nightmare. And I'll say it again, if anyone can justify why my wife and kiddo need their passport just to leave the house to get gas. Last night, Monica asked me if I could go with her to the gas station on the corner, like a block away, because she's afraid to stop, because she knows that. A mother was taken waiting at the bus stop with her child to go to school. Just the other day, a Hmong man was taken from his house in just shorts in Minnesota, outside in the cold, just shorts and boots. They said it was 10 degrees. It wasn't even that. It was colder. Minnesota in the winter is a horrible place, all right? It is. And if it says 10 degrees on the thermometer, once you add in that wind chill, it is way lower, okay? And I don't even think it was 10 degrees that day. I looked at my weather app and it said 5 degrees. But they will take a man out without a warrant, looking for somebody else. They got the wrong guy, but they took this elderly man out into 5-degree cold weather in his underwear. So, again, this is what we're living in right now. This is it. It got so bad that an actual white supremacist, not just a guy who's controversial that people say, oh, he doesn't like DEI, so he's got to be a white supremacist, whatever. No, this is a guy who actually builds himself to be a white supremacist, trying to have a rally and march through our city, all right? So people are just coming here to cause chaos, reporting on stuff that's already been reported, acting like it's breaking news. Like we haven't been dealing with this fraud for several years now. No, again, I work in my line of work. I've been on this. I know it's been a thing. There've been big arrests made, whatever. Not to mention the lady in charge is a white lady. The ringleader was a white lady, not even Somali. So again, it really seems as though all these things are being brought here simply to throw my state into chaos. I have theories about what the end game is. But again, people are going to decide that on their own, all right? I have ideas based on, just being an old guy and living my life as long as I have and traveling the world and seeing things and learning things. I have my ideas about what's happening here. But again, everyone's going to make up their own, so I'm not going to get into that. Also, I don't have the audacity to go and tell people exactly what is happening big picture-wise, okay? I don't know for sure. I have ideas, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to be the guy to tell you that, okay? You've got other people who are going to tell you that. All right, there you go. For those of you who have listened to it, you get to see Opal for a second. Ooh, a little too close. Come here, kid. And again, that's just part of what's going on in here in Minnesota, just a little bit, all right? Just from what I have observed and my family and friends have observed, okay? I'm not trying to go beyond what I actually know. So again, sorry about that. Went off on a little bit here, but again, I just thought people needed to know. And while I was at 1,000, let's see how many people have unsubscribed because of what I just said. I'm sure some people actually might. I don't know. But I'm not going to keep talking about that stuff. I'm going to get back to some video games, all right? So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And thanks for watching Opal. I will see y'all next time. Jesus Christ. I unleashed a monster here. All right.